least we thought.
Anyways, what I was saying, Michigan basketball, they've been a lot of fun to watch, just dominating teams. Last night, there was a crazy slate of basketball games. I'm just going to read these scores off. 67-66, Duke over Florida. Shut up, Seuss. 62-60, Syracuse over Tennessee for a court rushing upset. We got 67-64, North Carolina over Kentucky. That was amazing. And 61-56, UConn over Kansas. Just a stacked college basketball lineup.
Though?
He keeps doing 67, and he is a child.
The camera's
So
on you now, buddy.
Hi, guys.
I turned it off.
Oh, crap.
And as we're recording this, I don't know if the game started, but IU Minnesota is playing.
yeah, it starts at 7.
right?
Yeah, so in 30 minutes, that's going to start. That'll be fun.
And for those that don't know, I forgot to introduce him, but our producer Lane Emmenheiser is the ghost voice we're hearing right now.
Lane, show yourself.
Not having it. He is not showing himself. All right, so
Wow.
we're gonna get into
He's an off-camera.
What's up,
some
fella?
college basketball right now.
Yeah,
Let's
we
get
are.
into Indiana, Kansas State with Campbell.
Yeah, I mean, just an awesome game where these Hoosiers they keep doing it. I mean, it's just domination so far from these Hoosiers this season. Just haven't had a slip up. They have their first truly awesome test this Saturday in Indianapolis against Louisville. And this is just these games are like the build up to that is what it seems like for IU. Just a game in Assembly Hall against Kansas State, who's a respectable opponent. Maybe not the best, but just a truly respectable opponent. And right here off the bat, they're just going to have an easy little play here. They're going to come set an off-ball screen right here after this pass. And TC is just going to cut all the way to the basket, just wide open when you watch this. Just nice, simple play for an easy layup. Just like that easy play. And then watch the defensive intensity right here as Connor Enright is just going to pick up full court, set the tempo for this game, picking up full court all the way. And watch as they act like they're going to switch, but then jump back all the way through here. Act like they're going to switch again right here, and then they jump right back. Defense, nowhere for Kansas State to go. He's going to pass it out. Enright jumps that pass. The ball eventually finds Reed Bailey into into Wilkerson's hands, and when Wilkerson has space, that's an easy 3.
And that's a great play right there. I think we can all agree on that Enright isn't there to score points. He's there to be that gritty defense that he just put on in that drive.
Connor Enright plays like a TJ McConnell, in my opinion. That's his max that he can get to. He's such a great player, but he needs to just shoot more from when he has the shot instead of just looking for the pass always.
Yeah, but I mean, when he does shoot,
it's green.
yeah.
It's green.
So
And it's really funny you guys bring that up because of this next play we're about to talk about. Because this is just really good timing. It's like you guys knew the play that was coming. But we got Connor Enright who's going to have the ball. He's going to pass it into Alexis, who's going to cut into the post here. And just get an easy little inside pass, who then's going to swing it out to Sisley out at the wing. Sisley's he's going to have a lot of space. He's going to pump fake, drive in, and kick it out to Enright, who's just going to step up and drill a 3. He actually shoots and he drills it. The rare Connor Enright shot, but man, does it go in.
I mean, there's something you can say about Enright is that he has terrific shot selection. I mean, if it's over 75%, he's going to make it. He's going to take that shot. And if it's under 50, he probably won't. And he's got a really good sense of when he can take a shot and when he can't.
Yeah, he's a really scrappy guard. He always hustles, and you finally see him take that 3 ball when he can, and he nails it down for 3.
Yeah, I mean, just really good grit out of Enright all game. He's a defensive intensity guy. He's a good ball handler. He typically gets a good amount of assists every game. But today he did have a few highlight shots, and that was just nice to see because just showing that he can knock down the 3 will make teams have to actually guard him at the 3. And that's been a thing that I think IU struggled with early on is the fact that they just leave him open. And if you're going to leave him open, that means there's an extra guy in the paint clogging it up. And that can become a little bit of a problem. Right here, though, they're going to just once again just be able to attack that paint with these little screens and cuts. And you're just going to see DeVries is going to just pass here, and Sisley just gets an easy backdoor cut. And that's just way too easy. Kansas State defense finding too lazy. And if we rewind here, a lot of this is just look at the eyes that are everyone has to watch DeVries, because DeVries, if he gets right here and he's open, he's going to pop that and drill a 3. So they all have to step up, and Sisley just finds the wide open space down in the lane, and that's an easy find for DeVries. That's an easy lay. every single time.
Sisley was on like his own private island there in the corner, and then he cuts right in. Great find from DeVries. Easy 2 points for the Hoosiers.
I mean, part of that you want to say is unawareness from the defense, but I think the other hand on that is the awareness to know everyone feels the presence of DeVries, and they want to go towards him, so that's just going to leave him wide open.
Yeah, I mean, I think when I watch the IU Hoosiers play basketball, I can tell that Darian DeVries, the coach, DeVries, has an extreme presence of knowing that he just needs to set up every single play, knowing that all eyes are on Tucker when he's on the court. And there's going to just be a lot of attraction he draws. So how can you have these guys get cuts to the basket that will avoid and create wide open space because of Tucker? And right here, you're going to have kind of a very similar thing happen as TC is going to pass this little thing to Sisley here. And Sisley, who had a really good game, Tucker's just going to fake the screen and then pop out for a three. That draws in both the eye sets of both Kansas State players here who are going to like just collide into each other fully. And that's just going to provide a wide open drive to the lane. And once Sisley gets going full motor, he's just going to be able to put that in with nice touch. And that's an easy lay. Just clearly it's all about drawing up these plays to have all of your eyes on DeVries and just see who else can get to the lane. Like, DeVries did not have his best day. He actually had a bad day shooting overall. It was not a pretty night. But everyone else picked up because Kansas State, despite DeVries not shooting well, was still so focused on him.
When you're designing a play for basketball, you want to create as much defensive confusion as you can because that's when you run into your own player and you get tripped up, and then you're just left staring at your other guy like, hey, go guard him while he's already midair shooting a shot.
Yeah. Sisley is so good, and you have to think he's only a freshman. This kid's going to continue to grow, and he's just going to be phenomenal for the Indiana Hoosiers.
Yeah, Sisley had a good night. I'm going to also shout out I think Reed Bailey deserves an excellent shout out. He didn't have any of the highlights in here, but it was a lot of lesser highlights, but more just really good scoring plays from 21 points, only 4 boards. Maybe should try to get those numbers up a little bit. Wilkerson had 14 points on 4 for 7 from 3. That's good to see. TC had 19, 4, and 2. The only problem here I'm going to have to say is he did have 7 turnovers. That is a bit of a problem. The Hoosiers did have 17 turnovers in the game. They forced 19, so they still won that battle, but you don't want to give up 17. That's still too many. 30% shooting night from the 3. That's enough for IU to win games. They, against better opponents, maybe need to put up around 40%. Against worser, 20 to 30 should be okay. Just a good performance where they were never really down. I don't think they were down ever, actually, in this game. Just a dominant performance from the Hoosiers.
And I think something to discuss is this is an entire new Hoosiers team. No one's played together before this, I believe, 6-0 start. And they have really glued together well. And it's really impressive that this team is so well built. And you look at guys like Wilkerson and DeVries on starting, but also Sam Alexis in the bench is really good for this team.
Me and Lane talked about it the other day. I think Sam Alexis should be starting because when you play those Big Ten teams, you're going to need Sam Alexis, who's probably the tallest guy on the team, in my opinion. And he can play up to anyone, in my opinion. He's a good center.
So what I'm going to chime in on that is I think it depends. It's just truly matchup based, I would say, with Sam Alexis. It makes a lot of sense maybe against the biggest teams in the Big Ten, but against teams, there is something to say about running a small ball lineup and just being able to move quicker than opponents. And Reed Bailey can really run and stretch the court. Sam Alexis, he has been extremely efficient from shooting simply because he's only shooting layups, dunks, little push shots, hook shots, nothing crazy that he's doing. And so you're running with a little bit more traditional style big there, which is also okay. I think it just depends which matchup, who you are facing when you do that.
And that's the one thing I'm hearing, obviously, all went to Thanksgiving, IU family. The one thing I'm hearing is we're missing those rebounds because we have those small people. And that's the thing now. You got that one big guy on your team. Yeah. We don't have that, and we're just missing those rebounds, getting those turnovers.
Yeah. The other thing I think is IU has really good versatility when it comes to size because they can run that small guard lineup if they need to. And they can also run that big, bring Sam Alexis in, have a bigger lineup if that's the matchup that they want. But I think it's entirely up to DeVries. And so far in the season, I trust him to make whatever decision he needs to because it's worked so far. And if he thinks that playing the guard formation, like the smaller formation with like these teams that we're playing right now, that's great. But as they move forward with Louisville coming up, that's a big game, and it's going to be interesting to see what DeVries chooses there.
Yeah. And I mean, I would say there's even potential if maybe you put Alexis in the starting lineup and it's not taking out Bailey. You could keep Bailey in. I think maybe like there's the potential of you have Alexis and Bailey both in to add even more size. But then you have to make a tough decision of like maybe taking away Enright from the starting lineup or something like that. And it's just going to be matchup based. You just got to trust Darian DeVries to make the right decisions here. But let's transition away from basketball. I think we talked enough about college basketball. Fun weekend in the NFL. Overall, Thanksgiving weekend always provides fun games. We're going to talk about a Thanksgiving football game today.
Yep, let's talk about some Chiefs and Cowboys. I was taking a nap during this game, to be honest with you. But let's see what we got.
Of course, you weren't watching the video that you chose.
Yeah, we gave you this game and you didn't see the game.
Yeah, I got this game, but I was sleeping during this game. I had a nice Thanksgiving dinner, so let's get on into it.
Once again, we apologize for Noah Seuss.
Yeah. Fun factoid from producer Lane: I believe this Chiefs-Cowboys game is the highest viewed of the season so far.
It is. Actually, I think it's the highest viewed Thanksgiving game ever.
Wow. Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
You got a lot on your shoulders right now, Noah, so don't disappoint.
God,
This is a great game also.
It's a lot of pressure, boys. Okay. So here we go. 1st and 10, 13-11 into the first quarter. We're jumping right into this. We have Rice in motion. Mahomes throws to him right away, and he just burns it upfield. Great blocks from Travis Kelce, Jared Willie, and he just runs right in for the opening score. 7-0 Chiefs right away. Guys, what do we think about the Chiefs' quick start?
You love to start off with a screen because teams aren't often ready for a screen on the first play. They are often thinking, you're going to do some runs, do some passes, and set it up. And they're getting that early in the game, and that's great for them.
I mean, I feel like we've all watched enough Chiefs in the past, 5 years to know this is pretty, standard Andy Reid stuff, is calling up creative play calls to get guys in space early on in the game and getting an easy touchdown.
So our next play here, we have the Cowboys looking for a big response. You see the Chiefs are playing man defense. CD's one-on-one, which is such a big mistake. Now that they have George Pickens, you can play one-on-one. You can't play one-on-one with this team. So Dak makes a perfect throw. CD jumps up, catches the ball, ties the ball game nice and quickly, and the Cowboys are right back in it. Guys, what do we think about that?
Yeah, I mean, that was a great catch from CeeDee Lamb, but I think you got to shout out that throw from Dak was just right on the money. I think he's had himself a hell of a year this whole season. The Cowboys' offense has not been the problem at all season long. If they've ever lost, it typically doesn't come down to him and their offense.
And, I think this might be more of a after we get done with this film to discuss, but what do you choose between CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens? How do you choose who to cover there? Because either way, you're leaving somebody just available to make a play.
I think it's similar to choosing between Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate for IU Hoosiers.
Or Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams.
Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams, yeah. It's a tough decision. It's a real weapon to have two elite outside wide receiver threats, and that is what the Cowboys have.
So now we're going to get our next play here. We are going to see the Chiefs looking for their response. So we see Hollywood Brown in motion. He fakes the handoff, finds Xavier Worthy. Xavier Worthy runs downfield for a big gain. It looks like the Chiefs are back on the drive again. Guys, what do we think about Xavier Worthy getting the ball in the end around?
I mean, it's always I think it's another example of Andy Reid just doing creative play calling to get his weapons in, utilize all the weapons he has. And Xavier Worthy's speed is a elite weapon. You just got to get in open space. He draws up a creative play call, and just once he gets a little open grass, he's going to make the most out of it.
And I believe on that play, there was a little bit of a little shoulder check there from Mahomes to get that end around a little more open. It's a good play by Mahomes.
Yeah.
So now we're going to see the Chiefs try to finish the drive. 4th and goal on the 2. Brown's in motion. The Cowboys send a little bit of pressure. Mahomes finds his boy Kelce over the top. Touchdown, Chiefs. They get the response to end the first quarter. Guys, what do we think about the Mahomes and Kelce connection?
It's kind of ridiculous. honestly, because do you think if Kelsey was anywhere else, he'd still be able to perform like this? Or do you think it's that connection that he has with Mahomes?
I think it's truly just an elite connection. I think at this age, I don't think he'd be like good on any other team, but it's this just elite connection they have. They can fully feel out where each other are on the field. They improvise stuff all the time. A lot of times, Kelsey just does whatever route he feels like, I feel like, and Mahomes just sees him. It's like insane, and just this connection's just been elite for several years now.
So we're going to go to our next play here. Time is running down in the first half. 3:18 left, 2nd and 1. Dak snaps the ball, hands it off to Malik Davis. Malik Davis takes off. Great blocking by the Cowboys. They open up a huge hole, and Malik Davis gets his first touchdown of the season. Guys, what do we think about the Cowboys responding here?
I mean, don't you just love a great gap to run through for a running back? I mean, it's so impressive to be able to make that hole when you've got 300-pound linemen. I mean, it's just so impressive.
You got to deal with Chris Jones, and you made that hole. Like, this is not easy. Like, the Chiefs have a good D-line. This is not like a weak part of the Chiefs' defense. It's their defensive line. And they just, like, destroyed them. And, I mean, Malik Davis, credit to him for seeing it and running fast enough to get there, but that was so easy.
So our next play here, we're going to go into the second half. We have 2nd and 9. The Chiefs have the ball. Cowboys rushing for. Mahomes steps up away from pressure, pump fakes, finds Rashid Rice for a big first down. Mahomes threw that ball in only a spot Rice could catch it.
Yeah, I mean, risky ball. Cowboys defensive back there chose to go for the pick or the swat, which then allowed even more yards in the back end because he didn't go for the tackle at all. Just, I mean, great job by Mahomes once again, like always, to escape the pocket, create more time for his wide receiver to get open. Shocking. His wide receiver gets open, makes a big play.
I mean, it seems like every week we're seeing something from Mahomes that's like, how can he do that? I think it was last week he threw a ball from a quarter inch off the ground. It's just, what's going on?
It's every week with him.
All right, so our next play here, we're going to see 4th and goal again. The Chiefs are going for it. Mahomes rolls to the left, finds Rice in the end zone. Touchdown, Chiefs. Miles Rice, not Miles Rice. Rashid Rice gets the touchdown. Miles Rice, no longer not you, Hoosier.
Miles Price. It's not Rice.
No,
it's Price.
No, Miles Rice. That's the guy who played basketball.
Yeah, okay.
There's a lot of miles here.
Yeah, okay. I thought he was talking. We were talking football, so I was like,
I was thinking Miles Price on the Vikings.
Yeah,
I was
he's in the league, but not here.
He had a 99 return. Kickoff return
a while ago, yeah.
Guys, what do we think about the Chiefs here?
I mean, let's regather here. It was a great throw by Mahomes, just extending the play, getting outside the pocket, finds his guy. The Chiefs' offense in the goal line is just such like it feels too easy for them always. They just run all these little routes to just like create different space, and Mahomes is going to find that little tiny pocket to tuck it into and get an easy catch.
And it feels like every time you think the Chiefs are out of weapons, some more just randomly pop up. It's when Hollywood Brown went down and he was out for however long he was out, you're like, oh man, Chiefs are going to be bad for the next few weeks, and then they're fine.
Yeah, I mean, they've never had a number one guy like Tyreek Hill since, but they just have all these like so many number twos is what it feels like. Like they have every number two in the league, and they're all pretty solid.
So our next play here, sorry for that, but our next play here, a little cough up there. So it's 3rd and 8. You see up top, even CBS circles with George Pickens on a 1-on-1, which is simply just can't happen. He runs a simple slant route, jukes out the defender. He just keeps going. Oh shoot, he jukes again, and then he hurdles Trent McDuffie over the top for a couple more extra yards. What a freaking play by George Pickens.
It's not very often that you see hurdles work in the NFL, but when you do, they are incredible.
It's so fun to watch. I mean, I was just watching Seuss go over that play, and I'm just like, man. Also, credit to CBS for shouting out 101 right there and being like, all right, they're throwing it to him. You leave George Pickens 101, and you know that ball's going to him immediately.
So our next play here, we're going to see the Cowboys finish the drive, 3rd and goal. Dak moves up in the pocket and just flips it to Javonte Williams for the easy touchdown. The Cowboys get the lead right back. Guys, what do we think about Javonte Williams getting in the end zone there?
I mean, I feel like he's been an end zone magnet for a lot of the year is what it feels like to me. I feel like he he's had like an injury like every single year of his career. He's finally stayed healthy. He's having a very good year for the Cowboys here.
So our next play here, we're going to see the Cowboys try to create some separation. They're going for 2 here. Dak faces a ton of pressure from the Chiefs defense, shrugs off a sack, finds George Pickens in the end zone. He gets in. Not touchdown. 2-point conversion's good. And the Chiefs have a 7-point lead.
The Chiefs have a 7-point deficit, actually.
The Cowboys have a 7-point lead.
Oh my gosh.
Once again, we apologize for Noah Seuss.
Been a fun week, guys.
He's fine. But we have the Cowboys just here.
Cowboys just had a great toe tap 2-point conversion for anyone that's distracted by these two.
Sorry for unprofessionalism.
George Pickens absolutely does what George Pickens did to get drafted. He did what he did to get traded to the Cowboys. That's the plays he makes. That's the plays the Cowboys wanted when they traded for him. And just absolutely incredible from George Pickens. Absolutely builds that lead.
I mean, yeah, just George Pickens every single week this year has just been dominant. What a pickup for the Cowboys. Just feel like he catches every single ball. He has the option. Like, if it's anywhere near where he can get up to and catch it, he's going to come down with it. And just an awesome season from him. And he's been a large reason, especially when CeeDee Lamb was out, he's been a really large reason why these Cowboys have been, their offense has been so absurd this year.
All right, and now we're going to move on to college football with Texas A&M at Texas. Now, this is one of the biggest games in the slate of this past weekend because it had the most playoff implication, even though it was rivalry week. And so, number 3, Texas A&M at Texas. You've got Texas A&M is going to advance to this SEC championship with a win. But Texas, 8-3, started out rough on the season. But as Arch has developed, they've become a really good team, and that defense was always incredible for Texas. So let's watch as we get started on breaking this down. You're going to have a little motion right here, but it's actually going to come back to be a screen the other way. And Marcel Reed is going to hit it because all of these linebackers get pulled, and he hits the outside, goes all the way. That's a first down on one of the first plays of the game.
Yeah, what a perfect way to start a game in a road environment against your rival at Texas. Just a perfect way to start it off.
Yeah, and I mean this is a heated rivalry. A&M hasn't won this game in so many years now because the game went away for a while due to not being in the same conference. And just they really want this. Like the whole fan base is really wanting this, but they got to go into Texas to try to win this year.
And so this next play is going to be another great play by Marcel Reed. He's going to see this blitz coming in. He's going to stutter for a second and then absolutely take off up the middle. And it's going to be wide open. He's going to get all the way up the middle, sheds a little bit of an arm tackle off, runs for a long time, about 20 yards.
What a play for Marcel Reed. This is why this is the talent he has and what he's really been doing all season. Why Texas A&M is undefeated. They have a great defense, but that offense has been staying afloat all season because of Marcel Reed and his playmaking ability.
He is just the cornerstone of that entire offense. He makes that thing run. Without Marcel Reed, this team would not be where they are.
Now, with that run, Texas A&M gets in scoring position, but if you look right here at the field goal defense, they're going to just press right up the middle and block this kick. And no points for that drive.
Yeah, I mean, what a crucial play just to prevent points. Preventing points off the board is just, like, I mean, it sounds dumb to say, but it's just like a huge play that can alter the outcome of the game.
And so this next play that we're going to look at is Arch Manning answering back Marcel Reed's run. He's just going to also run right up the middle against this pocket. You're going to see this linebacker drop out of the line, and he just finds a gap, runs through, slides perfectly in between two defenders. I mean, that's textbook. You run right in between the outside corner and that high safety, and you slide, and it's great.
Yeah, I mean, Arch Manning is coming off of his best performance of the season against Arkansas last week. And just overall, he's been improving every single week. You can see why this guy has the talent he has. His legs are a big part of that, and just he has a great pocket presence. and takes the yards he can get, makes a perfect slide to not take any hit. Just well done by Arch.
At the beginning of this season, we saw Arch really struggle, but I'm very happy to see him producing now. He's showing the talent that he has and could potentially be a first rounder next year, in my opinion.
I think that's definitely something that we can talk about after this game, but that he is absolutely improved. And now we're going to move on to this next play. Texas A&M gets the ball back after a Texas field goal. They're down 3. They're around the 42 here. And you're going to get a Reuben Owens right side rush. Just goes around the edge, makes a defender miss as he comes. Jukes, follows his blockers a little longer, stumbles for about 5 extra yards. That's just impressive to stumble for that long.
Yeah, I mean, you don't see that often. Just like what a playmaking ability, and just like the comedic stumbling for 5 yards. Just get any bit of yards. Every single yard matters in the game, and he knew it right there.
And now we're going to look at a play that we don't see very often above, the ACC. It's the speed option. Marcel Reed's going to run left. The running back's going to run a little bit higher than Marcel Reed, so Marcel Reed can pitch it to him on the option. But Marcel Reed's like, no, I got to look. And the running back realizes, okay, he's keeping it, throws down a block, and that's about 12 yards there for Marcel Reed.
What a great run from Marcel Reed. He just takes off. Great blocking there by Texas A&M for a huge gain.
Yeah, I mean, Marcel, his legs, like we talked about earlier, just a real weapon that Texas A&M needs to use to have any playoff success later on in the season also.
And so this next play is going to be special teams play. Texas is going to punt the ball away, and right here, he's going to recover the ball about the 31. You're going to see this initial contact right here, shrugs it off. No worries. Then there's 2 guys right here. Doesn't matter. He's going to shrug that hit off, turn the other way, not even get close to the other guy that was there, run it all the way back, past the first down marker that Texas had, and gets slingshotted back by his T-shirt.
I mean, Casey's Concepcion, I see you with that play. I mean, come on. Like, what a big game-altering play by Casey Concepcion.
I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know who Casey Concepcion is. Maybe I should become more familiar with his game. But holy moly, what a punt return.
And Casey is one of the names that just kind of kept coming up when I was looking at this film. He is a playmaker for this team and possibly a good pickup for someone in the NFL this year.
Yeah, he is a name I have heard before from watching them, and he is a playmaker out there.
So this next play that we're going to look at is 4th and 5 for Texas A&M. 3-3 game, 3 minutes left in the second quarter. You're going to want to go into the half with some extra points. They're going for it on 4th down, and they're just going to target the sticks here. Now you're going to see Texas's defense is in a zone, and they back up just behind the sticks. And you're going to see Mario Craver, take a perfect route right at the line to be at the first down marker and under the Texas defense.
Yeah, I mean, just a great play by Mario Craver.
Sorry, I wanted to say Carver.
Yeah, no, it happens. And Marcel just showing that arm he can have. I think this is, 4th and 5. That's about as big of a play as you can get. 4th down, you turn the ball over if you don't pick it up. Just they came up with some big plays early on in this game, and I feel like watching the film on it, it feels like there was a while here where it felt like they were going to come away with the win.
On this next play, you're going to have Casey Concepcion again on a jet sweep here. It's going to be just easy yardage for him. Texas doesn't really overly bite on it, makes a man miss, just extends to get into that touchdown.
Yeah, strategy right here is just get him the ball. Get Casey Concepcion the ball. Let him make his play. Makes that edge rusher miss. Extends all the way for the end zone perfectly. Just what a play.
You would think they would learn from the first play, from the punt return, that Casey has so much speed on that jet sweep that you can't give him that much green grass on the other side.
And so this next play, Texas gets the ball back. They have 20 seconds left in the half. That's no timeouts. You're running out of time, but they're in field goal range. They can make a play. and run, but that's not what's going to be happening here. They have a great defense, and you're going to see this defender just wrap around, win that one-on-one. Going to absolutely smoke Arch Manning.
Woo! I mean, the whole Manning family, I think, is terrified after that one. I mean, that was just a brutal hit on Arch. You do not want to see your quarterback taking that. What a play from, what's his name? Tyler Onyedem?
Yeah.
Just like Tyler Onyedem. Like, what a play right there from him just to absolutely deliver a hit on the Texas quarterback.
I remember watching that play live, and I'm like, wow, Archie got freaking smoked. He got lit up on that play.
Yeah.
Happy he's okay after that one.
So Texas A&M gets the ball at the half, but they punt it away. So Texas, on its first drive, you're going to hand it off to Quintravion Wisner. He's going to run off this left side, find a gap, and take off. Holy cow, that's a lot of yardage there.
Yeah, I mean, Quintravion every single time he touched the ball in this game had an absurd amount of yards. I think he had like 7-ish yards per carry in this game. Just he absolutely went off.
So that play led to a field goal, and now they have the ball back again. Still 10-6. Texas has the ball. 9 minutes left in the third quarter. You know what they're going to do? They're going to hand it off to Quintravion Wisner. And there's going to be a huge hole. He's just going to follow the hole. And, yep, there's space right there. Did a little patience, did a little hezzy, as they would say in basketball, and then ran through the gap. Big yards.
I mean, I think we found our Cheez-It Bowl MVP in Quintravion Wisner because they ain't making the playoffs, but man, can he play some football.
Yeah, Wisner, career day for him at the office. 155 yards, his season high this year. So just a great day.
And 8.2 per carry is the stat they're now seeing it. That's insane.
Crazy.
8.2. I mean, against the number 3 team as well.
Yeah, and a good defensive team also. I think they limited Jeremiah Love to like less than 100 yards, which is not a thing teams do.
I think I just saw like yesterday was like 80 yards or something.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's a good run D.
Yeah.
And so this next play is going to be another handoff, to Quintravion again, and he's going to get about 15 yards there. I mean, huge.
I mean, feed the man. Give him more carries if you're getting 8.2 per carry. I want to see that per carry lower because you're getting like 40 carries today. I mean, man.
The Wisner legacy game did not disappoint everybody. He balled out.
I'm telling you, look for him in the Cheez-It Bowl.
And so this next play isn't going to be a run. Wow. It's going to be an incredible throw by Arch Manning. So at the top here, we're going to have what's called a scissor concept. You got the outside receiver running a post, which is that inside corner, and the inside tight end is going to run a corner, which is running to the outside, and that's going to confuse the safeties back there. It's going to be off screen, but Arch is going to roll left because there's just a huge gap for him to. Gets right at the line of scrimmage and absolutely hucks a ball to a wide open receiver.
I mean, yeah, what a play, what a route combo there, what a route ran, or what a throw by Arch. Just a brilliant Texas play to cap off the drive.
Ryan Wingo has so much speed, so when he can use it like on this scissor concept, he's just wide open for an easy ball from Arch.
And so this next play, there's going to be another dot by Arch. There's just going to be a little soft spot in the zone. It's just going to be a simple up and in, but look at the defenders. 1, 2, 3, 4. All could be covering him, but he's right in the middle of that soft spot. Great touch there by Arch to get that ball in there.
Yeah, I mean, just play after play now for Arch, and he's killing it. Wisner's killing it. How are you going to stop this Texas offense right now?
On that play, Arch has such great just field vision to find the guy in the zone. It's just like just bad coverage by A&M all around.
And so this next play, they're going to do another great concept. They're going to run just like a little switch by these tight ends. And that's going to cause some of these corners and linebackers to bump into each other. And right here, you can see he's not covering anybody. He's not looking at covering anybody. And they're both in coverage. Arch's first read is to the right, or else this throw would be much sooner because he is wide open. There's no one over there to cover him. Easy yards, muscles the guy away, keeps running, and he's down at the 2.
I mean, I don't know what A&M's doing right now. How do you just leave a wide open man and also get zero pressure? Great blocking by Texas. Just overall, way too easy of a play by Texas right there.
And so this next play is going to be a jet sweep to Nick Townsend, the tight end, in this deuce formation. So that's 2 tight ends, one on each end, receivers on either end. They're kind of just symmetry right here. And then they're going to move the tight end over. Texas A&M is not expecting it at all. If you can take a little peek at these guys, they're all got their hands in the air like, oh, crap, what's going on? And the tight end has an easy walk-in touchdown with the blocking from the tight end and receiver on that side.
I think it's time we shout out Steve Sarkisian's play calling of these last few plays, because every single play here that we keep watching, it feels too easy for Texas. And so I think you got to credit the offensive play caller, who is Steve Sarkisian here, who's always been a great play caller. Just what a drive right there by Texas.
Yeah, and A&M really got caught lacking during this drive, this whole drive here. It was just, like you said, way too easy for Texas to get in the end zone here.
And so Reed saw Arch Manning's throw, and he's like, you know what? I want my own cool throw. So he's going to see that extra blitzer coming in right there up the middle, and he's just going to roll to the right where there's a huge gap from that pocket, and he's just going to huck a post. And it was wide open. Easy completion, and about 20 yards there.
Yeah, we talked about Marcel Reed's arm talent earlier. He just has an awesome throw here for a big 20-yard gain for A&M.
So this next play is going to be a run to the right from E.J. Smith, and there's just going to be a little bit of a gap, and that's all he needs. He takes off and has the speed to get that touchdown.
Yeah, just perfect gap from A&M's offensive line, and a huge response for A&M.
Yeah, I mean, just crucial that they got those points on the board. They need to get back into this game. And their defense just got thoroughly embarrassed that last drive. Need to go put some points on the board.
So it's 17-20 now. Texas still with the lead. You're going to have Jack Endries on a little bit of a corner here. And Arch is going to hit the play action, maneuver the pocket, put the ball where it needs to be, and they're in field goal range already. Man.
Woo! I mean, just great play there by Jack Endries. Great play by Arch to avoid that pressure. Deliver that throw. Just what a play.
Yeah, what a great play by Arch to avoid the pressure that's coming from A&M and to just step up and make a perfect throw.
And so this next play might be the separator in this game. It's not the final score, but it does feel like this was the thing that ended it. It's going to be a designed run. They have the tight end in motion to be like a pull blocker here, and the middle just opens up for Arch. Takes off and turns on the Jets, something not typically associated with the Manning last name.
Yeah, we really see Arch use his athleticism here for a huge gain. Missed tackle from the safety, which gives Arch even more yards, and he runs on in for a touchdown.
Yeah, I mean, how is Arch going to separate himself from his grandfather and his uncles? This is how. His legs right there.
And so this next play is going to be a great dart by Reed. This little slot here is going to have a great in, and it's just going to be wide open off that Texas zone. Oh, this is not that play. All right. This is the box up play for Texas. They absolutely blocked everything perfectly on this play right here. They covered perfectly. The defense got through the line and stopped Reed before he could take off 2 yards down the field.
Yeah, what a great play by Texas to shut down Reed's legs, which have been effective all game long.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a really good play by this defense who really had a really good day all day and is just going to come up with plays here down the stretch.
And so now we are on to a dart by Reed. It's going to be an in just by the slot here that just goes right over the top of the Texas defense. Great protection this time from the offensive line. Hits him in stride. Great play.
Yeah, I mean, Marcel Reed, man, does he make mistakes, but man, does he have that, it factor to make some plays. What a throw right there.
Yeah, he makes up for it for the amount of mistakes he makes in a game with the perfect passes and the great runs.
And so now this next play is going to be just a little handoff, and he's going to muscle through on 3rd and 2 to make the first down. He doesn't get much yardage after the first down, but that's what they needed, is to get muscled through there.
Yeah, I mean, just a great play. Got to pick up the first down. Got the job done right there.
Yeah, you're down 10. You really needed that big first down, and they got it.
All right, so here's the situation if you're Texas A&M. It's 3:48 left in the game. You need a score. You're down 10. It's 1st and 10. And Reed tries to he's got a little bit of a pocket here, but it's going to collapse. And he's not ready for it. He gets hit as he throws over the middle. And when you get hit as you're throwing over the middle, it's intercepted.
Yeah, I mean, and this is one of those mistakes we're talking about with Marcel Reed. He makes them from time to time. I think the definition of him making mistakes and also making great plays is the South Carolina game we saw, where first half he was terrible, second half he looked like the Heisman, and they make the comeback. I mean, it's just an insane, like, up and down roller coaster with Marcel Reed.
And so Texas A&M manages to force a 3-and-out from Texas. That's a big play at this point, but Marcel Reed makes another mistake. And instead of finding another option or running, tries to force a ball, and it's picked.
Again,
That's ball game.
Again, you see Marcel Reed try to force something. This is the second time in back-to-back drives, and he cost Texas A&M this ball game late.
Yeah, I mean, he's just trying to make something out of nothing here, make a play happen, and it's just a mistake. And that is the game right there with that pick.
So, college football is shaken up in the playoff rankings because of this game. So, the playoff poll came out yesterday.
Yep.
Yesterday.
Yeah, correct.
And what are we thinking about the playoff poll?
I think a lot of the things are pretty standard. It's interesting how far A&M fell, falling all the way to 7. I think is very interesting. 3 to 7 is a major drop. I think the really weirdest thing that happened was Alabama jumping Notre Dame, and it's also, I think, the most important thing that happened, because I think it means if Alabama loses, I think they're still going to be in. I don't think they're going to fall. I don't think they're going to cost them for playing an extra game. But if BYU beats Texas Tech, which we'll talk about that game later, that means Notre Dame is out of the playoffs.
It's something that you're kind of like, do they deserve to be in? Do they not? But at the start of the season, you thought, 2 losses already, they're out. But they lost to good teams, and they have been hot as of recent. Like, they've scored a lot of points. They've looked really good.
Yeah, and I mean, it's also really interesting. Miami is only 2 spots under them. Miami beat Notre Dame. There's some arguments here because BYU is going to move from the 11 spot no matter what happens. Like, they will not be the 11. They're going to either go up from winning or they're going to go down from losing. They're not going to stay, meaning Miami's going to be 1 spot right behind Notre Dame when Miami beat Notre Dame in a head-to-head.
At the start of the season, if you said to yourself, Notre Dame is not making the college football playoffs, that's crazy.
I still don't feel like they're going to.
They went to the national championship last year.
I hear so much online of like people saying the committee's just pushing Notre Dame to be in this.
Miami should definitely be over them in the rankings.
It doesn't
That's
feel.
what I think.
I don't think they are anymore. I think this is them saying they're not doing that because
Yeah.
you know what? I think it's them saying. I think it's they're pushing Alabama to be in it. Because why did
Yeah.
they? Okay, what did Alabama do this past week that compared to Notre Dame? Alabama won at Auburn, but only by 7. Auburn's not good. Auburn's 5-7. Notre Dame beat Stanford, who's 4-8, also not very good, but they blew them out like they should.
Yeah.
Alabama did not do anything to deserve jumping them this past week. I think it's simply that they just would rather have Bama in the playoff than have Notre Dame. I don't think they're pushing this narrative of we want Notre Dame in the playoff. I think you could even see them switch their mind on Miami maybe being above them because Miami did beat them in a head-to-head. That's a very strong argument.
I remember people last year even being upset Alabama wasn't in the playoff polls. And, I mean, it was just kind of made sense, but still it was.
We are really going to see what Alabama is made of this week. If they could beat Georgia twice, 100% they should be in the playoffs. If they lose, I could see them being out of the picture completely.
Yeah. So let's start to preview this championship weekend we are about to embark on. I think it's just a really interesting championship weekend. You're going to start off with a big group of 5 game. It's pretty much win or go home for these teams. Winner advances to the playoffs right here in North Texas versus Tulane. The spread of this game is North Texas by 2.5. A bit of North Texas facts. They have one of the best offenses in the game. Drew Mestamaker, their quarterback. Let's read off these numbers. They sound fake. 3,835 yards, 29 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions on 70% completion. That's at North Texas. This offense can score. That's along with a 1,200-yard rusher at running back and Caleb Hawkins. They put up yards. They put up points at North Texas. And that's why give me North Texas Mean Green to win this game against Tulane.
I think North Texas' offense is going to be way too much for Tulane's defense to handle. I'm going to take North Texas as well in this one.
You know, it's really hard decision to make, but I'm going to go with Tulane here because I think North Texas has a little bit, I don't know, I just feel like there's something missing from them that I think Tulane can exploit.
I will say Tulane is very Jake Retzlaff focused, who is formerly known as BY Jew. He's pretty much their whole offense. I think he has like 25 to 2,800 yards, somewhere in that range, and he also has like 550. I think he's their leading rusher, 550 on the ground. Like they rely heavily on him to make pretty much every play for them. So I think that's gonna be very interesting. They don't have a running back that stand out like I think North Texas does, so maybe North Texas is gonna be getting the ground game going more. I do see this being a major shootout, though, I think. But I think that plays in North Texas' favor, so that's why I have to go with them. Now let's transition to a game that I think is just a wild thing that's happening. We got 7-5 Duke playing against number 17 Virginia, and it's not college basketball. This is the college football championship. I mean, this is just an insane thing. How did Duke make this game? But also they can spoil Virginia's season. It's just insane to think about. I mean, Duke has a chance to do the funniest thing.
I mean, they were saying it all year. The ACC, that anyone can claim. And you know what? Duke might claim it. It's a long shot, but Duke could do it.
I'm all in for madness around this time of year in sports. And if Duke wins
It's not March yet.
It's not March yet. But if Duke wins this football game, absolute madness will concur in football.
And what that madness is that's JMU's path to the playoff. Is Duke winning this game allows 2 group of 5 teams into the playoffs, meaning the winner of North Texas and Tulane, and then James Madison, assuming they can handle, I think it's Temple they play, or Troy, it's one of those 2. Assuming they can handle them, they're going to then be able to just walk into the playoff because 7-5 Duke exists.
Let me tell you one thing. I am not picking Duke to win this football game. I think Virginia's just going to flat out just beat them like they did the first time. It's going to be easy.
Yeah,
for
I
them.
mean, 34-17 the first matchup at Duke, and Virginia's quarterback threw 2 interceptions in that game. They still won by 17. That's why I know it's hard to beat a team twice, but I think Virginia's just like levels above them.
Yeah, it probably will end like that, but it's always fun to root for some chaos, especially when it doesn't apply to your favorite teams.
Yeah, and I think one of the stories here is, can teams beat each other twice in the season? Because we have 3 major rematches going on with playoff implications. The next rematch is number 11 BYU versus number 4 Texas Tech. I mean, this is a rematch. Earlier in the season, this score was 29-7. BYU didn't score till like the 4th quarter. Texas Tech's defense is elite and just absolutely shut down Bear. Bear something. BYU's quarterback's name is Bear Bachmeier. Bear Bachmeier. Yeah, and just absolutely shut down. That Texas Tech defensive line wreaked havoc all game, and just a domination that is just hard for me to see it going any other way. Texas Tech also hasn't lost the game without Baron Morton, their starting quarterback. We got Bear versus Bear also, which is kind of fun. But just I think Texas Tech just going to dominate them again.
I agree. It's going to be Texas Tech probably the whole game is what I would guess.
Yeah.
And I don't know if the score will be close because Texas Tech wants to let their guys rest, but I think watching the eye test, it'll be Texas Tech dominant.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's going to be like 56-3. I think it's just good. Like they won 29-7 last time. I think another like 30-10. Like just something where they're up the whole game. They feel comfortable. They get to the playoffs. They get a bye also. They're in full control of having a first-round bye, and they'll just be very happy to do that.
The spread going into this game is 12.5 for BYU.
And I think that means a lot.
They're going to cover the spread. I'm going to say right now, they're covering the spread.
Okay.
It's going to be closer than you guys think. I still think Texas Tech holds on and wins the game, though.
All right, time will tell. And then the last rematch, I think, is one of the more intriguing things to happen in college football because we've never seen this matchup before. I mean, it's number 9 Alabama, number 3 Georgia. We never see this ever in the SEC championship.
This game could play huge implications for Ty Simpson's Heisman race.
I think he's done.
I don't think he's done yet. I think he can still play a factor. If he has a big game and Alabama wins, Ty Simpson could be right in that Heisman race.
I forget what nobody they played in Week 11, like every SEC team does, but I think he only put up like 100 yards in that game. I think he's out.
Let's check it.
But
while he's checking
Yeah.
it, I think Ty Simpson could still be in the Heisman race.
Okay, so
if the result of Indiana Ohio State is
Low
4
scoring,
picks
yes.
from each
Okay.
quarterback.
So the line, by the way, was 147 yards and 2 interceptions against Georgia State. I think he's out. But regardless of that, he can still be a good quarterback and lead his team to the playoff, which is still a team that can win playoff games and has a national title hopes. And they own Georgia. Alabama does. 9 out of the last 10. Kirby Smart cannot get wins against Bama, which is weird because he dominates everyone else. And it's not. It used to be like, okay, yeah, sure, you lose Nick Saban all the time. That's something. Kalen DeBoer's picked it right back up. And Georgia's been the better team these past 2 years, and Bama's just won twice. And but at the same time, it's really hard to be a team twice. But I think the reason I'm going to pick Alabama to win this is partially because Bama just owns Georgia, and also because I think Bama needs it more. There's a chance if Bama loses the game, they get held out of the playoffs with a 3rd loss. Georgia's in for sure. Like, they're locked, and I think they might be just looking ahead to the playoffs, and Bama cannot afford to look ahead at all.
Yeah, something you got to think about is just Georgia, Alabama is going to draw such a crowd. He might be wondering who's going to take over that field. It's going to be a big game. There's going to be a lot of crowd involvement. It could be it could be a great shootout, and it could be a 10-score lead the entire time.
Yeah. I mean, I think something to note is similar to the Big Ten championship game. It is in Atlanta, which is like 45 minutes from Athens. So it is basically a home game for the Dogs. Although that crowd, I think it'll be like maybe 65-35, which also I think is similar to the Big Ten championship game. So maybe slight advantage Georgia there. But I don't know. I just think Bama's going to do it again to them.
I'm going to say no. I'm taking Georgia here. They're so due to beat this Alabama team. I'm going to take Georgia. I'm going to say like by 10.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's Bama, but I also think Georgia has a better chance of winning the national title. I just think they might lose a game that they don't care too much about.
Yeah, that's a hard thought. It's hard to think about thinking too far ahead because every coach you ever talk to will say, "No, we're just focused on this week," but
that's
you know it's going to be in their head.
Yeah.
And I still think Georgia's going to pull this win off.
Okay. I mean, once again, time will tell. We get to talk about this next week. And now, I mean, the game of the week, just an absurd matchup. Not often do you get number 1 versus number 2, or like just an awesome matchup. Number 2 IU versus number 1 Ohio State. Just line is Ohio State 4.5. It opened at 5.5, so a little bit of money going IU's way currently. First time IU's been in a 1 versus 2 in program history. It's also the first time they've been number 2 in program history. So
yeah, I was going to say.
So it makes that for sure. I didn't even have to look up that stat.
Not often you have to see a 1 versus 2. Not often you see a ranked Indiana, let alone number 2 Indiana.
Not many ranked matchups in their history, but Heisman is also, I believe, on the line. I think if there's a chance that neither quarterback does well, but if both quarterbacks play well, like we've seen them do all season, then the winner, I think, just wins Heisman. So it's also not just do you win the Big Ten Championship Trophy, you win the Heisman Trophy. I think, for me, what I think, though, yes, there's these Heisman caliber quarterbacks in this awesome passing game. I think it's going to come down to who runs the ball better in this game.
I think it's going to come down to who can break the defense first, because Ohio State's defense is incredible.
Yeah.
And Indiana's defense is what makes Indiana number 2. The offense is great for Indiana, but the defense is truly the statement.
What I'm looking out for in this game is Jeremiah Smith versus D'Angelo Ponce, the high school teammates going at it. will D'Angelo Pons, he's an aggressive corner. He's 5'9". Will he be able to guard up to Jeremiah Smith?
I don't think he can. I just don't think he's tall enough. I think it's not anything against him. I think he's a great player. I don't think he has the size to do it. I think they need to play him at nickelback, similar to like how Michigan used to use Mikey Sainristil. Play him in a role like that. You can blitz him occasionally. Play him all over the flats. Let him dominate any short pass Sayin wants to do. Let him be all over it. And and then have two high safeties back. That way you're doubling both the outsides. And then because the two high safeties, you're going to have to put a lot of faith into these linebackers to be able to like fully stop that run, because Ohio State is going to be willing to run. We saw last week against Michigan, once they got up, they were like, all right, we're just going to chew clock. We're going to run. Ohio State, one of the most impressive stats, I believe, out of them is that they run the least amount of plays offensively out of anyone in college football, because they take 40 seconds every single time and give their defense as much rest as possible, so they will go down, get 7 after 10 minutes on the takes off the clock, and then their defense will just stop you. And that's going to be their strategy. IU needs to speed them up.
And I think we might be underestimating D'Angelo Pons, because he is extremely versatile. He had the punt block this season against Illinois. That's extremely athletic, and that's what you need to be to guard the receivers that Ohio State has. And also, sometimes it's not about the physical, it's about the mental and the agility. And I believe Pons has the agility to keep up and maybe break up some of those passes. Now, he might not be able to go up with someone, but he might be able to put his hand in the middle and break it up.
Yeah. And I'm just going to put my trust in Kurt Signetti to have an awesome game plan in this game. And I'm going to say lower scoring, somewhere in the IU wins 24-17 to 24-20, that range.
I'm taking the Indiana Hoosiers flat out. I think it's going to be a close game. I'm going to say 27-24 in that range. I could also see it being like a really low-scoring game. 14-10, 14-7, because this is probably two of the top 3 defenses in the entire country.
Okay,
Yeah.
And so a very quick thing I want to talk about before we wrap up. Now, everyone knows Lane Kiffin has moved, but I want to talk specifically about Ole Miss in the rankings. Because if you remember a couple of years ago, when Florida State lost their quarterback, they were out of the given 14 playoff back then. They were eliminated from playoff. Is that something that could happen to Ole Miss?
I think no, because of where the committee put them this week. I think put them at 6. They don't play at all, so we don't. I think part of that was that we got to see Florida State without Jordan Travis, and it was like, oh, this team's bad. Like, they're not good anymore. We're not going to get to see Ole Miss without Lane Kiffin until like their playoff game that they're going to play against whoever they play. But I think it's going to affect them. Now, it is interesting, I would say, it doesn't seem, the players seemed kind of thrilled that he announced they left and announced the interim coach, and like, because there was that like recording they got. The players might be like fine and motivated. Now, the one other counterpoint to that is Lane Kiffin was their play caller, and that's really important. You lost your offensive genius.
And I think there's something about the offensive coordinators and defensive coordinators being around him and they know what's been working. They have an idea, but will they have the mindset to call the same things at the same time that Lane Kiffin would?
I think you're going to run not exactly the same playbook, but close to it. You've been running the same thing. It's been the same drills at practice. You're just going to keep it up.
Yeah, I mean, you can't change your scheme this late into the season. You're going to have a similar offensive scheme. It's just the Lane Kiffin's always been known as a great like adjuster during games, and like including like calling audibles on the sideline. You'll see him all the time like jumping up and down, calling something, and it draws Trinidad Chandler's eyes. And you're just not going to have that anymore. And so I think that will be the interesting factor is like, will they have these awesome audibles in the game anymore? And I don't think they will without Lane Kiffin.
And so we're going to have to see what happens this weekend with IU basketball, the college football championships happening. And thank you for watching this episode of Inside the Playbook. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Instagram at InsideTPB. Thank you. See you next time.
That was good.
I wanted to develop.